Hello builders of internet and welcome to this video on automation where today I will be attempting to build a 1950s supercar as I decided it could be an interesting idea to see how one would do since I would have a limited amount of technology available to me but I would still, have a low curb weight due to it being an older car. Just looking through, I could use that body, but let's be honest, it's not at all relevant, nor is this one, right at the bottom, 1760 pickup. Wait, what have we got? We've got this. I do actually quite like this, but it's a bit more of a lead sled than a supercar. I think the most realistic body was something I saw up here. Here we go. Like a classic sports car. It's very, very small. Unrealistically so, I would say, for a supercar. But nonetheless, I feel if I equip it properly to a luxury level, there's no reason this couldn't compete on the supercar market. My mind is going crazy these days. Anyway, also you'll notice the design studio has changed over my previous videos. This is the modern one, whereas I was on the 80s one before. I just found a button and these were the two options available, so I decided, hey, let's try the more modern one for a bit of a change. I know it's probably not a new feature, but I didn't notice it before. Being a supercar, or even hypercar I guess you could call it, at the time, it's going to have to be aluminium, but mid-engined isn't really a thing yet. The thing is, it's 1955, so it's interesting. We could still have a ladder frame under here, but I think on this tier of vehicle, we would be past ladder frames. It wouldn't be a space frame. That's still the reserve of, the strict reserve of race cars, but for what it's worth, we can use a unitary construction. There's galvanized steel as well. Do we want that? I mean, it exists. Virtually nothing will have used it though over time. I don't know, it's a very high-end car, and being a smaller car, there's not even that much bodywork here to galvanise anyway, or chassis should I say, to galvanise, so I think I'll go ahead with it, Double wishbone on the front, there isn't that much suspension available. And solid axle coil on the rear, which does seem primitive, sure, but I just doubt I'm going to need anything better. For the kinds of power I'm intending to put down through this car, I doubt I'm going to need anything better. Although this semi-trailing arm, ooh, fancy. Yeah, I don't think I need to go too crazy though. Front tyres have a very high profile. Yes, they do. Apparently. Not like it's anywhere near finished though. And this is a very, very fancy engine building room. I mean, I've not been around here properly, so I just opened this up and I'm like, am I in Wall-E? Because it just looks so futuristic compared to the 1980s facilities. Now, I'm going with a inline 6, and there's only cast iron available, disappointingly. Dual overhead cam does exist. Now, I could do that, and I'm pretty sure around about the 1930s, maybe 1940s, 4-valve cylinder was in production, but it was in production on Duesenbergs and just about nothing else for so many years. We're talking, I don't know, 50, 60 years. It went out of production, and yes, so that's what we've got to deal with. I'll go with an aluminium head, and this won't fit in the car, okay? Nor will that. Not for front wheel drive. How does it say for rear? Rear wheel drive it's fine actually. It's only the height that's the trouble. I can see it not fitting though with front wheel drive, but I don't need to fit front wheel drive, so, it's fine. I'm not going dual overhead cam anyway. as I was saying, I'll just use direct acting overhead cam. It's a good all-round technology. I think a 3-litre engine for the time is quite big, at least under the case of European cars. American cars, sure, will have had big engines, but they were American cars. They were a completely different class of vehicle. And we're going to have just cast internals. Wow, in the 1950s, we really don't have a lot to work with, even on the very top tier of vehicle. I may just have to make it bigger. Actually, now I think about it, call me crazy, but I'm going to put a V8 in. It won't fit front wheel drive again, but I can fit a massive V8 of, say, about 6 litres or something. I mean, this car, it is small, but it fits. It fits its V8, it can really hold it. Oh dear, 6,002. I want it to be just under. Oh nah, I'll have it just over then. 6,036. It's a 6-litre V8. Probably from America, but who knows really. We just found that it fell off the back of a truck. Yeah, that's our explanation. DCOE, not good for economy at all, but it does have a huge amount of power capabilities. I think we could try 3 2-barrels, or actually no, we can have quad eco carbs, which sounds unwise for a hypercar, but it'll give us comparatively good economy to other cars in the class, and it should still give us a lot of airflow because there is 4 carburetors there. There's 1 for every 2 cylinders. We'll go with regular fuel. Again, I should go with super, but I don't see a need to. It's got an aluminium set of headers, yeah, because we have to make it advanced as possible. Long tubular. We're going to go with a pair of reverse flow mufflers, keep it a bit refined. Dual exhausts. And looks like we're going to need big exhausts as well to clear this thing's lungs. But that's no bad thing. I mean, 219 horsepower, and that's just the initial horsepower figure. I can only rev it to 6,000 though. That is the downside. It'll only rev to 6,000, and that's with a rev-happy nature to it. Carbs, they stick through like that, but that's okay. I mean, what am I going to do? We have that one which trails back like this, and then we have this one which cuts off. Now, then we also have that. Personally, I think this one looks better, but not only that, it'll have better weight balance, which we're especially going to want when we have a V8. Ooh, can bring that up, yeah. Should I do that though? No, I think I want to bring it down, and then I'll have a hood scoop, or bonnet scoop, or whatever you might feel like calling it at that moment in the day. Ooh. I know they're not really designed for this application, but that also does a job of hiding it. I mean, there's enough things here to hide it. And you can't just say, hey, you would never see this on an old car, because the Shelby Cobra had one. Yeah, I think if I move that back slightly... No, it's not going to work. I want that one as well. It looks a bit more decorated. And then I'll have to form the body up just a little. So that's how I'm going to decide to do it. Move that back. So we should have a good trail now. Can I move the bottom of the windscreen forwards? No. Looks like the only windscreen movement I can do is that. And that's as far back as I can get it. Ooh. I don't want to turn it into a complete chop top, but I can lower it a bit and that will make it look nicer. Remember, this is a tiny vehicle though, and we don't want it to be completely devoid of headroom. So we need some height in that kind of area. Also, you know, you have to see out of the car. You won't be able to see out the back window if there's no height to it. Well, you will, but you'll just see sky. And that's not what we want. Yep. I think that's good. You can't see the eco-carbs. You can't see our company has cheapened out. But as I say, I'm over 200 horsepower, which although not a lot, remember it's only 1955, power was not in the crazy levels it is now. And is that an LCD, LED type monitor over there? Looks like it. Just with that yellow car on. Yeah, the car's changed. That's intriguing. We won't be going with an automatic. We wanted to have a better driving experience than that. Open differential, because it's not going off-road in any way, shape or form. We'll go with radial. No, we won't go with radials. It's not really their time yet. Even if they were technically available on supercars. I just don't believe the world is ready. What I've built a 1950s AC Cobra. I meant to build a supercar, but I've built a 50s AC, well, I guess Shelby Cobra. My mind just reverted to AC for some reason. I'm not sure if AC was the Cobra when marketed in the UK or something. Anyway, that is not of importance right now. What is of importance is the wheels and stuff. 165s are probably okay, just about, for the power we're putting down. We're going to want sports compounds, not because the car needs it as such, but because I want this car to have as much grip as possible round corners, to gain as much speed as possible round corners. If we make the wheels a bit smaller, yeah, I don't want to go too mad, but it looks like I have. Ooh. If I make the tyres bigger... Yeah, if I make the tyres bigger... that can work to an extent. We have 185 sport tyres now, which are not great, but they are a lot better than the worst case, I guess. 2 LS drums, and then we'll just have SLS. There's not much choice, but I'll have to tune them. Unlike that little economy car thingy I built, I do actually have at least some size to play with here. That just had tiny, tiny wheels, and I didn't have any size to play with. So, this is quite a pure sports car in its own right now. I mean, it's not the supercar I would have thought of it as being. I'm going to put luxury or phonograph maybe. Yeah. I'm going to just go with a standard sport interior though, because that should be good enough. I mean, it sounds like a weird thing to say, but I don't know. How is weight affected by phonograph though, I wonder, because maybe I would tone down the entertainment even if it's adding a lot of weight. Now we're going to need advanced 50s safety. Again, it's it's kind of one of those cars you expect the very best from it. So if it doesn't have the very best for the kind of money we're charging, well, we're doomed. It does have its advantages, but the low drivability is hurting it. Has severe issues with wheel spin. Rightio. Try 13s. Maybe if I change the wheels, they won't look quite so bad. Also, where is the gearing, I wonder? Try these. They look a bit better. But if I try the gearing... Yeah. That's perhaps why there's problems with wheel spin. I want it to be targeted to torque as well. 12.7 miles per gallon, as I was saying. But it's a hypercar. So, is that too terrible? I don't reckon. So, it's a hypercar with a 6-litre V8. I think... With the way these tyres are, though, I can't seem to get much wider than 185s without really trying. I think I need to change the engine. Maybe to an inline 4 even. The V8, as much as I like it, it just isn't a practical decision to put one in. Weight balance is surprisingly good though. 53.4 front and 46.6 rear weight balance. How about the 8? 1342, right. How heavy is the engine though? And the phonograph, because they're little things that I could perhaps change. Yep. Is there like a basic radio? Yeah, we can have a basic AM radio, which the market will absolutely hate me for, but I want to turn this into something that can fight round a track. As a result, I'm going to compromise. You know, it's got a nice interior, but I can't go too far. Utility Sport, but that's not around until 1975. It's doing okay for comfort. How about changing the interior as well? Basic. $12.99, and I don't think this changes it much actually. Yeah. That adds 20 kilos. I think I can deal with that actually. Because that's the difference between a extremely nice interior of the day and just a really basic one. Only difference is I've not got a fancy entertainment package or anything, but you're buying a very light car. You have to accept that compromises will be made to make it light. Now, there is other things as well as the V8. The V8 is heavy, I imagine. Where's the number? 314. Even if I were to take 200 kilos off it, this body still wouldn't be as light as I would like. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to choose a different body, like one of these. I don't know exactly which one. Remember the Satsuma though? That was a similar car to one of these. It's just, it doesn't exactly scream prestige. That's my issue with it. You know, it doesn't scream prestige, and a car like I'm building has to have at least a little prestige. So let's try the 55 coupe. We can put mid longitudinal and rear longitudinal. I'd say rear engine cars definitely existed. I think there was the Volkswagen Beetle, or at the very least some Volkswagen military vehicles, so they existed at the time. But I don't think mid-engine cars did. Wait, where's... Oh, the engine doesn't fit, I'm imagining. Okay, so just for the sake of, Just for the sake of getting this in, I'm going to try mid-longitudinal. No, it doesn't. Oh well. This car doesn't scream prestige either, but it's a lot better than one of the others I was looking at, so I'm going to have to run with it for the time being. See where I can get with it, and see what I can get out of it. So, inline 4. It's going to be about a third of the displacement, remember. That's going to save me some money. Not money. It's going to save me some weight. Twin eco carburetors, half a cylinders, half a carburetors, let's say. And we are only making 76 horsepower, which is disappointing. But we can rev 900 RPMs more. Okay. How heavy is this now? Or actually, let's just check how much light the engine is. I would imagine just over 100 kilos. Is it really just over 100? 148. Oh dear, that is not as light as I'd hoped. But it is still about half the weight, and the weight of this car's body is a lot lighter. So 742, I think, for my plan to fall into action, it has to lose more weight. I've put the engine in an awkward location, though. I'm going to put it somewhere. Well, it's in the rear at the moment. How is it at weight when I move the engine? Puts a bit of weight on. 57.3 front. Rear longitudinal. 57.3. Yes, I did change the struts at lighter. Now, I'm probably going to have double wishbone on the rear and struts on the front. Solid enough layout. Oh dear. Right, I'm going to have to see what I can do. The rear engine's layout definitely seems like it's possible, though. Definitely seems plausible. So I'm going to make a whole bunch of tweaks to this, and then I'll return when I have something vaguely resembling a car. So, here I have the vehicle, and it has changed quite a bit. It really amounts to a GT estate now, with tiny wheels and low curb weight, under a ton, which is good. It is also very powerful, 280 horsepower. I've plus 10 on everything for equality, which helped with that quite a bit. 60.2% of the weight is at the front, though, so I don't know. That's not great. Now, really all that it needs is finishing touches. I'm thinking if I put bigger wheels on it, sure they're going to make the rear tyres and the front tyres narrower. I guess I'll have to deal with that, though, because they are cross-plies after all. It has got good power to weight, though, for the time. Although it's not in itself the most powerful car in the market, or the lightest car in the market, it has a good combination between the two factors. More frontal weight, that is not what I wanted. This body is apparently a 1948 as well, I'll mention that now. Instead of a two-door estate, I think I'll just do a two-door saloon. I can't make it front-wheel drive because the engine is far too long. So, can we move that back? No, but we can lower it. There we are. That's about the best I can do for weight balance. Maybe if I bring that up, though, it'll look better. So, yes, finally, I have somehow improved the weight balance. I want to bring the tail back. I want to make that shorter because it seems far too long, but at the same time, yes, I've had to extend it out for the weight balance. It is slightly lighter than the estate, and it does better in the class now as a result, which seems to still like this being a standard four-seater. I mean, that's what I mean, though, about power. It has to have a balance. It can't just be raw power or raw lack of weight. They won't get it to perform. So, again, let's try rev it up as much as I can realistically before it explodes. Interesting. So it looks like maybe if I make it ever so slightly smaller, I can rev it to 8200. It makes 209.9 horsepower, so I'll just call it 210. Should have actually got a bit lighter over the front, actually. No, not by much at all. But 2.9 litre V8. This is definitely different from modern vehicles. And they don't like that, okay. Issues with wheel spin. How low do these have to go until it becomes a non-issue? Oh dear, where's my mouse? So 15, there we go. I think that's actually slightly better than before, but only like 1 point. It will do 135 by the looks of it, which again for the time it's quite an impressive top speed. And we do have bigger wheels, meaning bigger brakes to slow this thing. Not that we'll need them, but I suspect the market will like them. Yes, I've gone the biggest they will go front and rear because I want the braking force. These wheels are still not big. They're something like, what, 14 inches? I was correct. So they are not big wheels. It's just a small car in general, even if it doesn't look small. It is small. We can go pad type, and this is where we will regain our market share because they really like it. I think I have struts on the front because I don't think it affected the market at all, so I just went with a cheaper suspension type, and I think it's double wishbone on the rear. Now, what do they say about it now if I change it? As expected, they don't like the lower end suspension types. They like double wishbone on the front now, which makes sense. Although it does add front weight, I don't think it's going to add so much, yeah. It adds perhaps 3.5 to 4 kilograms, so it's not too dreadful. I think we can deal with it, in other words. Ooh, we can lower it a lot more, though. That is for certain. Just reset it to normal, or comfort, or whatever they seem to prefer at the time. Get a normal, which makes sense for a GT car, neither stiff nor kind of ultra soft. I need to increase rear grip. Does that work? It looks like it does, actually. I have balanced the car by just making the front tyres slightly narrower. I mean, it's not like I'm going to do anything anyway. But then that means I need to rebalance the brakes. It's so bad. This effort has to be gone through to, get it working. I have the chrome across this side as well now. And I have this bumper basically dragged from the rear and made a bit wider. And the logo, which I put there very early on. All I've really got to do is finish off. So I'll just have to make some body coloured bits, chrome coloured, like so. Move that up. And I think we now have our vehicle. I have come up with a name, vaguely. Not a great one, but it's good enough. GTL, the L standing for luxury. The GT because it's a GT. I mean, the way it does still look odd, but at least it doesn't look absurdly odd. I could make it look absurdly odd, actually, with a chrome strip, or 2 chrome strips, should I say. I mean, this will look absurd. And I'm probably going to go borderline excessive with the chrome by doing it, but it's worth a try. It is worth a try. You know what, I don't think that looks half bad. I don't want to attach it to that other grill though. So our Pacific Autos GTL, as it is, with surprisingly small looking wheels, I think is ready to export into BeamNG. I'm not going to do aero or anything, it's unrealistic to do that in the 1950s, but nonetheless, 59% front weight distribution. It is not great there, however, it's not too dreadful. At the same time, there could be a worse weight distribution. I mean, I just hope the suspension has what it takes. So, here we have the GTL, and as you see, here's the lights. Yep, they all work, as you would expect. And they can go off. Anyway, we do need to get going. I mean, the wheels do look small, and they are small. Okay, just one more try to start this since I messed it up before. My pedals weren't really where I needed them to be. So, oh dear, it does slide a bit. I can barely believe it because I know the weight balance is bad, but it wants to go. The rear does not have any traction. And I did adjust the gears, but it's still just not quite enough. Mind, at the same time, I think I'm not bearing in mind just how powerful it is. Oh, it's gone. I did get the checkpoint though, so yeah, I don't have to turn around or anything. I think as the tyres warm up, it will speed up a little. Although until that point, I don't know. I mean, it's still 50s tyres, so what can I make of that? The steering feels heavy, but then it's not power steering, so it would feel heavy. Considering it hasn't got anti-lock brakes, it actually brakes surprisingly smoothly. And the RPM meter thingy is just being absurd there. It's not updating near as fast as it should, so I'm going to have to kind of believe in the engine sounds to tell me. Which I shouldn't do, but it seems to be the only way of things working out, which is strange because the rest of the game isn't lagging, it's just that part is. I mean, thankfully, the unpredictable oversteer and the unpredictable rev meter is not a problem. Also, it does float over bumps. But I say the unpredictable oversteer isn't a problem. It isn't a problem because I can keep control of it. His lift off though as well. It's not just when I'm putting the power down. It's weird, it's like I'm driving a tank even though it actually weighs under a ton. And I'm sure it isn't on the most sporty, firmest suspension ever, but there's only so far I can go. Yeah, the best solution I can come up with is to just lift off. I mean, it'll still oversteer a bit if I lift off, but nowhere near as much. Just trying to be gentle here. Maybe I need to give it less steering input as well. Because again, it is direct steering, so what I do with the wheel will put that to the road. Yeah, not much I could do about that. The rear just went round, and that was under brakes. I'm going to have to put a lot of hope in the third lap, because if the third lap can't do it, I don't know what can. Again, it just went round. Why is it doing this? I can't exactly say. Other than the weight balance, that's all I can guess. The weight balance and the lack of aero. I don't know how quick it's going because the thing just isn't updating. So I can't get an accurate representation of how quick this is. Now it's updating. Oh, had to go into neutral for a moment there because I was just scared of accelerating. lift off, tap the brakes. I think it's because I'm expecting ABS. Bro, full lock. Full lock, and then the other way and everything. I was trying not to spin it. I eventually managed, but it was hard, and it's still hard. It's still hard to try and get this to do what I want. Tap the brakes into here. I know I'm going far slower than I perhaps should be, but I'm trying. It says I'm only on lap 2. Maybe that must be true then. I did restart originally when it slid, because I decided it was me being stupid and sliding it, but I think it was just a car on that occasion. It's one of those rare occasions. Second gear. Ease on the brakes. It's the only way I'm going to get out of this. Come on. No! There's nothing to do. I try and take that corner and it spins on me. I need to really think here, because that is going to be a complicated corner. You saw at the end of the opening straight where I really struggled to keep this vehicle under control. It's going to be more of that now. But also back there, yeah, that's another difficult part of this car. Only it doesn't seem like there is a way of really saving it. Gently, gently, does it gently. No power, no power. Until now. Now I give it a bit of power. I'm easing it round the corner. It's the only way I can deal with it. I have built a nightmare here. This is not a car. It is a nightmare. I mean, maybe it should be on radials and not cross plies, but I decided cross plies were the appropriate decision, being a 1955. Second gear seems good. It seems like I don't ever need to shift down into first. Gently, gently. I could feel it sliding there, so I had to lift off and be gentle. It feels like the Ibishu Dove pickup, actually. It feels closest to that. So, slow it into here. I know what I'm going to do. Ease it through here. Shift up into third. Lift. Keep to the inside. Give it as straight a line as I can in order to reduce the oversteer. There we go. Second. I'm going wide, but that's okay. Not going to do me any harm. There we go. Third position. And it's slow, but given the problems, it could be a lot worse. So, it has done poorly. It is below the Kashira Jato ram plow and above the Pigeon base model, which I used for actually testing this circuit before I started the time trial and everything. It is slow. However, it is on fairly skinny 1950s tyres. It's quite a tall vehicle as well, and the weight balance is dreadful. I'd actually like to do a kind of resto mod on this and see how it does, given a lot more technology from, say, the 90s or something, and just basically see how it does with better tyres as well, because a lot of cars won't have been on 1950s tyres. In fact, I think these are the oldest tyres to ever come around this circuit, so a lot of progress will have been made in that respect, and tyres are such an important aspect of how a car handles. But with that being said and done, yes, I am disappointed. It is still supposed to be a supercar, and it didn't deliver supercar levels of performance. So I'm going to leave it here for today, and I'll say goodbye until another day.